Hey guys, what's up? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Before we started, make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up and turn on post notifications on down below to get notified when I post a brand new video. But today, I am going to be explaining my statistics for this semester, basically my GPA and stuff like that, classes I'm going to be taking next semester, as well as how I felt, how I got on the dean's list, how I got the grades I did. Before I started, make sure you guys give the video a big thumbs up. And if you guys did not know already, I am a freshman communications major at Dean College, and soon I'll be taking a marketing minor. So first, I want to just explain how I felt for the fall semester and what I rated on a scale of 1 to 10. So how I felt about the fall semester, a lot of people that you guys already know, we're under unprecedented times, and we did not really know that we're going to be online. Like, some people had hope that we're going to be on campus. I was one of the many people that had hope we're going to be on campus for the fall semester, but it did not happen that way. And I kind of like had a negative thought on things, like I wasn't gonna do as well, but at the same time, like, it just gave me a time to, grow on myself and not, be on campus. And I've realized that I've grown not just as a person, but as well as a student academically. And also, like, I feel like if I was on campus for some reasons, like, I wouldn't join the clubs I did and stuff like that and try new things and stuff like that. But yeah, so on a scale of 1 to 10 for this semester, I give it a solid 8.5, because of the simple fact that, like, I have grown a lot of connections with different people from this semester and from my classes, that some of them I may not be able to see ever again, or at least like next fall, a whole year from now, because some people aren't gonna be on campus, but at the same time I get to see them and see my roommate for the first time, and get to know them even more, because I've grown a genuine connection with a lot of people. And yes, I went into school, like, we were supposed to, we were joining the Facebook group and stuff like that, and we got to know different people. I literally went to school knowing no one, and now I literally know 90 or 80% of my whole freshman class. So that's really good. So I give it an 8.5 because of that. And I'd rather have a physical experience there. And I feel like, the grades are in the books and stuff like that. I feel like I could have done way much better in like my hands-on courses and stuff like that. I'm going to tell you guys my grades, because I feel like I'm really, really happy with what grades I got. But at the same time, yeah, there could have been always room for improvement. But at the same time, I'm on the good spectrum of things, and I took the challenges I did and I made something of it. So I'm going to be explaining my stats. So for intro to communications, I got a B. For digital audio production, I got an A minus. For campus connections, I got an A minus. For communication fundamentals, I got a A. And for English composition 1, I got an A. And my cumulative GPA is a 3.640. So that is my GPA for the fall semester. For the summer semester, I did get a 96, I believe, for the semester. So for the summer semester, and I ended up getting a 4.0. So that kind of dropped a couple of points. But yeah, so if you guys do not know, to get on the dean's list, you have to have a 3.5 or better, and I got a 3.640 GPA. So how I got on the dean's list, there's a lot of things that came into this, and you're probably saying that, oh my gosh, like, yeah, you got lucky or whatever. No, I put the work in. Like, yeah, for me, if you guys did not know, communications majors, like, yeah, you don't have to take as many math classes, and it's not really enforced on you, but for like the majority of part, you're still doing a lot of writing classes and stuff like that, and teachers can take off a lot of points for little grammatical errors that you should not be making. But I took on 5 classes, and I had a good chunk of work, and I'm gonna kind of like explain like how my finals week went. My finals weeks went, because I did get the final like 2 or 3 weeks ahead of time, and I did work on it for that. So I'm going to be giving you guys some tips and tricks, and some, smaller tips. So I'm going to give you guys the broader tips first. So ask why you got a certain grade. So for me, at least, like, sometimes we did, like, only for my English composition class, we had like once or twice of times that we had to, write it multiple times. So we did have a readable plan, we did have a rough draft, we did all that type of stuff. And then we had a peer edit where we edit other people's papers and they edit our papers, and that gives us a lot of feedback. So that's what we did. So sometimes, like, you can email the teachers or say, hey, I feel like I should have gotten a higher grade than I did. Say if you got a B- on a paper, you should have said, oh, I feel like I should have gotten a B+ on this paper because this, that, and the third. They will tell you why. They will be only be happy to, tell you why you got a certain grade on something like that. But like, they're going to sometimes tell you, if you know that you got this wrong or whatever like that, they're going to tell you, did you read the syllabus? Did you read the rubric? And that's one of the tips I'll give you, is you have to read the rubric. You have to read the syllabus, because it'll give you all the tips and all the things that you need to cover in your paper, and it is not anyone's fault but yours if you do not cover it. So the next one is get extra credit, get extra points wherever you may be, wherever possible, because, they're not just going to give you flat out, extra credit, but sometimes, for my teachers at least, if you pass in your papers, your assignments early, you get 5 extra points and 10 extra points. So in my speech class, it was really, really big on, she'd give us an assignment, and it would literally be the smallest assignment in speech class. And then she says, oh, if you pass it in on the same day, or you pass it in like 5 days before, you get 5 extra points on, because there's been some assignments where I would get a 110 on an assignment just because I passed it in a week early, and that would be the grade that I got. And she would say, oh yeah, these are the people that passed it in, just give us recognition and stuff like that. Next is do well on projects. Projects are key. If you're going to do anything, if you're going to take any advice, do the projects and do them on time. You want to cover everything that your project, entails, all the project that it's about. Like, if you have a chance to, pick what topic you talk about in your project, that's perfectly fine, because I did the development of ESPN as the first sports network, and I got to pick that project, and I was really passionate about. I did a lot of research about it, and I did a very, very good grade. I got an A+ on it, so I'm super excited of how that turned out, and you can use it for a resume builder. But if you're going to do anything, do really good on the projects and do really good on the essays. And also do these small little exercises that give you in class, like the little professionalism grades and stuff like that. And it just, everything ties into each other. As well as for little homework assignments, make sure you do them early and turn them in early. If they say, hey, read this and then answer the questions, literally do it in the same exact day and pass it in, because it shows you on my homework website, at least, it shows you how many days you had to take it and when you passed it in. So you never know. Teachers could add a couple of extra points onto your grade. So tips for essays. So I kind of want to do like a whole video on how I write essays and stuff like that. But for the first thing you want to do is take notes on the subject. You want to take notes. Yes, it's an extra step to do, but literally a little goes a long way. If you take notes on a certain topic you're supposed to be doing, for an essay, it will literally save your life. It will save your life. It's an extra step, extra work. It'll take like you 2 to 4 hours if you're like, taking notes on a specific topic, but especially if you're not really interested in the topic, then you're going to, do worse if you don't know what your topic's about. You can't just go in and write the paper and then have your another tab open for like the source that you're taking your notes out. That's only good if for the majority of college professors, they're going to ask you to have have a bunch of quotes in the paper, but you need to cite them. You need to cite them you need to have in-text citation, so you need to cite where you got the quote from and have the author's name after the quote, and it can only be about 30 words per quote because you don't want to have a whole paragraph full of quotes and like you're just relying on the source to give you the information and back up your point. So you need to take notes and you need to take the extra time, because if you do, it's literally going to save your life. You could literally just copy and paste your notes from your extra Word document to the Word document that you're going to take the essay from. You're going to write the essay from. Now you have to read the whole syllabus. Literally start from the top where the subject is and literally go down. What I do when I take notes is I open up a separate Word document. I preferably like using Google Docs. I write what I'm doing, what I'm working on, when it's due, what time it's due, as well as subtitles and subsections and stuff like that. That will save yourself some time. And literally, you want to download the file that has the syllabus on it so you can keep on referring back and forth to what things you need to cover in the paper. You literally want to write on the Google Docs that you're working on of how many words it's going to be, how many paragraphs, how many papers, and stuff like that. Now for the actual writing part. So for me at least, I can bang out a 5 to 6 page essay in one day. That's just me. But for other people at least, I recommend writing 2 pages per day. Depends on how much time you have. Because normally if I do get a whole essay done in one day, in like 4 hours, I will normally look back, and sometimes like the day after a teacher gives you a project, the next class, they could literally say, oh yeah, this is they would normally like give us notes and stuff like that, and we would watch videos on some good things that we could add in our paper. So one of my challenging papers, before I go even further in this video, is one of my most challenging papers for me at least was my fracking paper, because I had no idea what fracking was. The first time it was mentioned to me was when the presidential debates were happening. Not to get into that, but that's when the first issue of fracking came to be, and like I didn't really know about it. And then for my intro to comp class, we watched 2 video documentaries, and we had to explain both of them, as well as give our own opinion on fracking. So I literally had to take notes, so many notes of what happened in both of the films, and make sure I don't, mix up the films, as well as do outside research on the films to see like an outline of what the scripts of what the video was about, the movie or whatever, and then like try to get the characters and stuff like that, and also form my own opinion. And I ended up getting a 98 on the paper, and I was really, really happy because I had no interest in it. I didn't know what it was from the slightest, and I ended up getting a 98 on it just because I took the extra notes. I did an outline. I, prioritized my time. I think I averaged about 2 or 3 days on that paper because I was working on other things and I kind of wanted to pace myself because of the simple fact that, yeah, you can, for me, I can bang out a 5 to 7 page paper in 4 or 5 hours, but you kind like for those type of papers, it was only about a 5 to 7 page paper and I wrote 6.5 pages. I kind of wanted to take my time because it was a topic I was not familiar about and it was a topic I really didn't want to talk about, but I did, and I did really good. So that's what I do. Proofread it. Like I said, you want to, after, for every page you write, you want to proofread it. And also an app that I recommend so much because, yeah, you can proofread it. You can be a communication major. You can be anything you want. You can be the best reader. I recommend downloading Grammarly to your laptop because it'll catch mistakes in an instant, as well as it will recommend different words to use in your paper. So I really do like that. As well as if you do all the steps I told you for writing a very good paper, you want to then submit it early. Like I said, referring back to the extra points, they could add extra points to your grade. They could add extra points to your essay grade. And that is how I write my papers. You guys know all my secrets, all my tips and tricks on how I write the perfect paper. It's literally easier said than done. If you're not a naturally good writer like myself, it'll come hard to you. But if you literally go down and you write down all the things I mentioned in this video pertaining to writing papers, you will get the best grade possible, because I am not capping when I said that I have not gotten lower than an 85 on a paper this whole semester when it comes to writing. And that's just mind-blowing to me because I literally took what was good for me. No one told me any of these steps. Like, yeah, I have gained some knowledge along the way, but I literally wrote down what's good for me. So I did start on writing like notes for the paper and then reading the whole syllabus, because sometimes your grade can be reduced down 2 letters if you don't read the whole syllabus, because they can be like, hey, write a minimum of 4 pages, maximum of 8. You can't write, literally you're on your 4th page and you have this much space, reduce a whole letter grade. That's what they're going to do. And I've seen people get that grade. And when the teacher says you did not fill the requirement, when they say 4 pages, they mean full 4 pages. And some teachers, they do not let you have a space in between paragraphs. So when it's a double space paper, it can only be double space. It cannot be tripled or quadruple space during in between paragraphs, because you're trying to waste space, and they know this. They know that you are trying to jump the gun and trying to waste some time, and they know that you don't have enough information for this paper. So that's why I recommend doing outside research, as well as collecting quotes and stuff like that. Literally in your Google Docs, when you're taking your notes, highlight which ones are quotes and which ones are not. So kind of I'm going to be explaining like what I got on each paper. So I got a 85 on my digital audio production paper. I got a 95 on my intro to comm paper, as well as on my English composition paper. I got a 100. So it was really good. For my digital audio production paper, we had to write like different things for like audio systems and stuff like that, and like a lot of information. That paper was 9.5 pages. 9.5 pages. The limit was like 8 or something like that. I don't know. And then for the intro to comm paper, it was 9 pages because we had to research Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and something else, like a lot of social media platforms, and explain the history behind it, and like the benefits of social media and stuff like that. And then for English composition, it was basically just a reflection paper, which only had to be 500 words. But I was like, why not go above and beyond and try to get some extra points here and there? So I did write a 2-page paper instead. That's how I did. Now, the secrets on how to get extra points added onto your average. This is simpler said than done, but it's literally going to take you so much to get extra points added onto your average. So first, I said this 500 times in this video, turn things in early, because if you turn things in early, you will see those points. They'll either get added onto your average or they'll get added onto your assignment grade. Because what's really important in college is your professionalism grade. Your professionalism grade, if you guys don't know, is basically how you act in the classroom. For online school, at least, it was showing your face, raising your hand, little assignments that's towards your degree, little assignments that was towards your portfolio, participating, all that type of stuff, how you act in the classroom, your attitude towards the classroom, how you act when the teacher calls on you, all that type of stuff. Next thing, participate, because if you participate, they will see. When they're taking attendance, they literally write down what things you are doing, what things you are doing, what things you're not doing. If you have your camera off all the time, literally, I've seen people, they don't know why they got the grade they did in a class because they just did not have their camera on. Like, you have to have your camera on. It's just polite and respectful for like you to have your camera on always. The next thing is to go to class, attend your classes, because it's either like for me, it was all synchronous classes. So we had to attend the class. There was a meeting every single time. So I recommend to attend the class because they will tally up how many times you attend the class. Because yeah, they may not, you say, oh, Kirsten, are you here? Whatever. They're not going to say that every single time. Like some teachers do. Some teachers do spend that a couple of minutes before class to do that. But at the same time, they're literally going to, when the class ends, they're literally going to go back and to see who was in the call, who wasn't. So stay for the whole class because you don't know what they're going to explain. Because sometimes when teachers, they assign a paper or something like that, they may have a whole class just dedicated on how to get extra points, or a whole class dedicated to earning points. Literally, they say, oh yeah, does anyone know this question, this question, this question, and stuff like that. And next is ask questions. You want to ask questions religiously, whether you know the answer, but at the same time you have like a little % chance in your brain of things that you don't know, or if someone else doesn't know the question, because you never know. If you have a question, someone next to you is most likely nervous to ask it, and they're most likely wanting to know, and they're most likely curious about what the answer is. So ask questions, as well as volunteer, because what they're gonna see here, what the teachers are gonna see here is like, oh my gosh, she's volunteering, she's really interested in the class, she really wants those extra points, she really wants to do good. So that's what I recommend. Volunteer religiously, and just, do your thing, and like, don't be afraid to ask, because literally for the majority of my classes, we're all freshmen here. Nothing's a dumb question. Literally, there's no dumb question in college or at any school. It's only a dumb question when you haven't paid attention and when the teacher keeps on saying it. But for the most part, like sometimes my teacher would say something, would say, oh yeah, the paper should be a minimum of 4 pages, maximum 8. and someone would ask, oh yeah, is 3.5 good? What if we do more? Because they're only gonna yell at you if you do more than the maximum. But if you do more than the minimum, then they're gonna give you extra points. I know my teacher, he gave us, like, yeah, if you did really bad on like some spelling errors and stuff like that, but you would make up for it if you did like an extra half a page. Go the extra mile, because I had, hold on, for my intro to comm paper, I had 12 pages worth of notes, and I reduced it down to 9 pages of content. So that was really good for me. So yeah, those were my tips and tricks of what I did for the fall semester, how I earned myself a 3.64 GPA. And also is a really, really, really big goal of mine, because Campus Connections class is really a class to set you up for success for the future. And we literally stayed like the first it's really welcoming environment, because Campus Connections, you're literally in a class with everyone that's in your same major. So I was in a class with all communications and sports broadcasting majors, and we literally had the first class just explaining of what we want to accomplish for this semester, as well as we had to schedule a meeting with our advisor, and it was a test grade to schedule with your advisor. So I scheduled my advisor, and he was like, oh, what things do you want to accomplish this semester? What things do you want to get done? What things do you want to be when you grow up, and stuff like that? And I had so many questions. Like, I email my teachers back and forth literally every other day. But they like that. They want you to be curious. That's what they're going to write down for your resume, or if you need a recommendation. Like, literally, I asked my advisor's probably sick of me, honestly. But like, honestly, like, I would literally text them and stuff like that and say, hey, like, how can I, put business into my degree? Because the more I, went to these seminars, and also to get extra points, sometimes you can attend the seminar, and your professors that say, hey, you're gonna get an extra quiz grade if you attend this seminar. They're going to check. They're going to have a list of people that did RSVP and actually show up, and they're gonna give you an extra quiz grade or knock down a grade. But anyway, go to the seminars. I was really interested in the business program, and technically for communications, you are in the school of business, but I wanted to add a degree. So I was like, hey, what's the difference between a double major and a minor? And he kind of explained it to me, and he really gave me a lot of inside information. And he's like, hey, what do you want to do? And I was like, oh, I want to have my business, as well as have like a television show, have like something for myself while growing my business as a person. I want to be more independent with that, as well as what he was just kind of asking me what I wanted to broadcast and stuff like that. But the more I look at it, the more I read more information, I really want to have a marketing minor. So he was like, hey, you have to start with taking classes that are for marketing minor. For that class, if you want to do anything in the school of business, you have to start with foundations of business. So speaking of that, I'm going to tell you guys my classes for the spring semester. So in total, I am taking 7 classes. That's 2 more classes extra from the first semester. But I'm going to tell you guys what I am taking. So I'm taking Dean Radio / Sports and News, Media Writing, Career Connections, Composition 2, Intro to Statistics, Intro to Sociology, and for the third quarter, I'm taking Foundations of Business. So, I'm going to be taking for the second semester, from January to about March, I believe, I'm going to be taking 7 classes, and then from March until May, I'm taking 6 classes. So like I said, Foundations of Business is just an extra class, and it was so stressful to register for classes. I might make a separate video, I might not. I'm probably just going to briefly explain right now of how registration day, it is very, very hard, very stressful, a lot of tears, but registering for classes is very hard because first it starts with the upperclassmen, seniors and juniors. They register for classes first, and then freshmen and sophomores go last, but freshmen go last. So you pick up your classes, you put it in the category, you put it in your plan, and then for the day of registering, you get a separate time. So mine was at 11 or 10 o'clock. I had to hit register, and it shows you all the classes you didn't get in, stuff like that. So I was really trying to get into Foundation of Business and digital video production, but I didn't get into digital video production because they had so many different things, and I really want to get Foundation of Business. I was really mad I didn't get Foundation of Business first, but he said since there is a big, interest in Foundation of Business, then he's going to, ask the registrar people, if they can make another class. And I, in fact, did get into Foundation of Business for 1 quarter. So I'm super excited about that. And it's fully asynchronous. So asynchronous is basically online. So it's just an online class, and and I can do that, and it's just kind of like something extra for me. But in order for me to, pursue a marketing minor, I needed to take Foundations of Business first. And most likely, the spring of 2022 is probably the time where I'm going to be, declaring marketing as my minor, and I'm super excited about that. I may know like in the fall semester, but I'm super excited about that, and I'm super excited for all the classes I'm taking. I'm super excited about everything. Super excited about moving, super excited about all that type of stuff. I only have a limited time here. I literally, right here, I have all of my stuff I'm bringing to college right there. I'm not even done packing yet. But I'm just laying out clothes and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm super excited about the spring semester. I can't wait to show you guys around and to move in. So I hope you guys like this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And also, if you have any questions on how to write papers, because literally I'm a communications major. I love writing papers. I love reading people's papers, stuff like that. That's what I literally been doing. Sometimes, like on my free time, I would rewrite people's papers, give them some critiques and stuff like that, and just like see where they went wrong, edit their papers and stuff like that. If you guys ever want me to edit a paper or anything like that, because people go to me, to be honest, they just go to me to write papers and stuff like that. So I really enjoy it. So if you guys have any questions, my Instagram and Snapchat is down below in the description box. If you have any questions, I'm free 24/7. But yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video with brand new content, and I can't wait to see what this next 2021 year has to bring for us. And yeah, I'm super excited, and I'll see y'all in my next one. Bye!